Thank you for coming online for this webinar on study in Lithuania. I believe all of you can hear my voice clearly. In case if you can't hear the voice, you need to check your audio settings. Okay. So today we're going to discuss more about Lithuania, a small country in Baltic region, up northern part of European Union. Let's go by the first higher education in Lithuania. Here we're going to talk about why Lithuania is one of the favorite upcoming destinations for Indian students. What are the opportunities they have if they choose Lithuania as study destination? Okay, so about Lithuania, 94% of people who have studied in Lithuania, they have recommended Lithuania as a study destination to the foreign students. Now that's one of the most important things we need to know, that why they recommended Lithuania as a study destination. So let's go about Lithuania, the country. As you can see, the country is next to the Baltic Sea, and that's why we call them as Baltic countries. Lithuania share border with Latvia, Russia, Poland, and they also have a border with a bit of border with Ukraine as well. Vilnius is the main capital of Lithuania. Lithuania being a member of European Union and a full member of Schengen country, I hope you all know that Schengen country means that the students can enjoy the Schengen visa, which is for 26 countries altogether. Official language of Lithuania is Lithuanian, but everybody speaks English there. That's a very common language they speak after Lithuanian. There are different types of colleges, universities in Lithuania. The oldest universities we are in Vilnius and Kaunas. Yeah, so the two big universities in Lithuania are Vilnius Technical University and University of Vilnius. Let's go beyond that. Something about Lithuanian people, one of the most educated nation in the Europe with 93.4% of higher education rate. 25% of high school graduates continue their education in colleges. 40% continue to universities. 1/3 of Lithuanians have a university degree, sorry. So basically 92% of people speak 3 languages, English, Russian and German. After English and Russian, of course after Lithuanian, English and Russian is the 2 most commonly spoken language, because we all know Lithuania came out from the Russia many years back, and they have got their freedom. They came into European Union in 2008. Value. Students always ask you, why should I go to Lithuania? I would rather go to Germany or I will go to France. But let's understand now why Lithuania is value for money. First of all, bachelor degree courses are 2,500 euros. They start from 2,500 euros per year. Student has to pay tuition fee per year only in Lithuania. They cannot pay for the semester. Affordable accommodation, 8,000 rupees. I'm talking on a higher side. In many universities, you can actually have accommodation from 6,000 to 8,000 maximum, which include all the bills. Public transport, €6 a monthly ticket. And this means that students can cover their entire monthly stay, a monthly traveling in this amount. 2-course meal in the restaurant costs you €5. Technically, if we talk about the €5, we're talking about 400 rupees, which is an approximate cost of the food in metro cities like Mumbai, New Delhi and Chennai as well. You can get anywhere in town with €10. So basically, you can go from, if the cabs are not very expensive like Germany and Denmark. The Germany and Denmark are very expensive countries, and especially the cab is too expensive there. So if you have to travel, I'll give you a small example. If your student land at the airport and they go to the university in Vilnius, They don't have to spend too much of money from airport to the university hostel. It will cost them around about 800-900 rupees only. So it's not expensive, as I can see. Quality. The second most important thing is that if you talk about cheap education, do you compromise on quality? The answer is no. Because all the universities are state accredited universities. They all are either have to be government or they have to be government approved universities. They have around about 300 programs in total in the country at the bachelor's and master's level. 5 scientific valley field leading research and laser biotechnology. Lithuania is very strong in laser technology and biotechnology. A small example, the VMU University have a special program on biotechnology where they give masters and bachelors both at a tuition fee of 3,500. So laser and biotechnology is the major field of research in the country. Erasmus exchange program available for foreign students. Erasmus is basically, as we discussed before also in the last presentation when we talk about Latvia, that Erasmus exchange means that you can go to one university and then you can do your one semester in their partner in Europe. So all the Lithuanian universities offer Erasmus programs. Example, you go to one university in Lithuania, let's say Vilnius Technical University, and you do one semester in Germany, and that too free of cost. So you don't have to pay for your food, your living, your tuition under Erasmus program. Because in Erasmus programs, you actually get paid by the university, all your living expenses. Ability to receive paid internship. A lot of Lithuanian universities offer paid internships to the students. They have got a very close tie-up with all the local industry where they can place the student for the internships. One of the most important universities when it comes to internships is ISM University, very active with the students and the local industry and their placement. Experience. Of course, you're not paying a lot of money in Lithuania, but then students, of course, don't want to compromise on the experience as well. The study abroad experience is very important for students when they choose higher education abroad. The personal attention of mentors at the university. Lithuanian universities are very practical oriented universities, and they give a lot of attention to the students. A lot of international events are organized by the local student bodies where they actually invite international students specifically. Affordable accommodation and food prices make it a budget friendly destination for students. Traveling around the Europe is very easy because Vilnius is the capital where we have a lot of cheap airlines flying in and out of Europe, and specifically in European Union. You can fly from Vilnius to any big city of Europe in as low as 8,000 rupees. It starts from actually 4,000 rupees one-way ticket and goes up to 10,000 if you make it an early booking. No traffic, no delays, no big crowds, make the city perfect to live. High 3G and broadband internet penetration. The Lithuania and Estonia are the two countries which are one of the most fastest internet, not only on the broadband but also mobile. So technology is very advanced in this country. Admission is a very easy step here. So about USPs, let's talk in short. The quality of education is high, international study environment, so you don't have Pakistani, Indian, Nepalese students studying in one class like you have in UK. You have very mixed classes from European Union, non-European Union. Of course, there are some universities which recruit very, very heavily from India. We do not work with those universities because the student experience is very bad. So we have only those universities in our portfolio which have an international mix, which don't have Tamil Nadu classes. Right? Student-centric education system. It's a safe environment. Wide choice of study programs. IELTS is not required and English is widely spoken. You don't require an IELTS for the admission. Tuition fee and living are same as compared to metro cities in India, as I already mentioned this. The average living expenses of Lithuania is 300 euro, which include most of your things. Let's see the number of growing students in Lithuania from international countries. In the last 6 years, if you see the numbers, since 2007, the numbers have gone up to 4,000 till 2013. So Lithuanians are expecting that they're going to cross around about 5,500 students 2015. The 2014 data has not been accumulated yet, but it will be coming soon online. We will share this with you as well in probably next year. But they're presuming it to be 5,000 international students in the country. We're talking about full degree students actually. Now, when it comes to the education system, Lithuania do not have diploma system. They either offer a bachelor degree for 3 to 4 years, a master from 1 to 2 years, a PhD, which are very, very few. You need to watch our emails offer. That's what they can offer you. So there's no option for diploma students. So if you want to study a diploma like studying in Canada or in Denmark, Lithuania can't offer you anything. So you need to pick a bachelor or a master's. Lithuanian universities do accept transfer students from non-European countries other than the field of medicine. So if you have 2 years of BCom in India, you can actually get a waive off in your education and you can start from the 2nd or 3rd year depending upon your course credit transfer. So transfer students are acceptable in Lithuania from any country, provided their course content match with the Lithuanian university. So in case if you have a student who want to move down to Lithuania before finishing the education or a half finished education, we can accept them, no problem. Let's go to entry requirement and intake and deadlines. Now, one of the most important part you need to understand as a counselor is the student comes to you and it's very difficult for counselors to understand whether the student will get the admission in this university or not. So I'm going to tell you the formula, and if you learn this formula, it will be very easy for you to understand whether the student will get the admission in your Lithuanian university or not. The minimum percentage you need to have is 45% marks in class 12 to study bachelor degree. That had been picked up for some universities. Some universities will of course ask for higher GPA. So you go for bachelor or masters, 45 is the minimum. But at times you might have a refusal also in admission at 45, and some universities like ISM might ask for a 60% marks. IELTS is not required. Education in English language, if you have education in English language from India, your previous education, you don't require an IELTS. And all the students so you don't even require IELTS, you don't even have to prove any English certificate from your college. So we are keeping by default that all your students come from the English backgrounds. There are 2 intakes in Lithuania, September and February. September is the major intake. February is a very small intake in Lithuania. There are hardly programs available. So you should focus more on the September intake. For most of the September session, most of the universities have a deadline. 1st June, some will have 1st July like VGTU. Wellness Technical University, one of the most important university in Lithuania for engineering and business students. For January session, 1st December. Late applications are accepted by Lithuanian universities. Kindly contact our office before picking the application after the deadlines. Popular programs, MBBS. I have even dropped the price of the tuition fee, 10,000 euro per year. Just to let me, media, visual, mechanical, electronic, business, civil, economics, dental. You can find all the programs you want in Lithuania actually. The only thing is the MBBS program in Lithuania or Latvia or Hungary or Czech Republic or Poland. You pick up any country, they will not be less than 10,000 euros a year. A lot of you will have expectation that you can find a lot of students, but you can find students for Lithuania who are willing to go to Canada, Ireland, US, Australia for MBBS. Because these Schengen countries, they have a standard to maintain in the MBBS programs. You just can't run the human medicine program like China and Philippines. Which means that the quality is very controlled. So students should expect a very high level of education when it comes to medicine in Schengen countries, of course also in Lithuania, where we have Lithuanian Medical University as a partner university for programs. Fees, bachelor's fees start from 2,000 euros to 4,000 euros. We'll be sending you a list of programs also, where you can find all the list of the program of the universities. Masters program start from 3,500 euros to 4,000 euros per year. And the living cost, as I mentioned, is 300 euros per month in any of the city you go to Lithuania. Admission application procedure. So you pick up a study program, you submit your documents to our office. 10th onwards, all documents originally scanned. Now, all these things you can see, your passport and IELTS, copy of IELTS, only required if you have a very specific program. Let's say a dual degree with USA, a dual degree with UK. In that case, otherwise you don't need an IELTS copy. If you have an IELTS already in advance, it's recommended. And then we get the acceptance letter from the university from 5 days to 15 days time period. Now, admission letter comes in, but do you need to understand? So, you have given the documents. All these documents goes to university by emails, and we get the admission letter. Now, when we send the documents to university and when we get the admission letter, there is a one body in Lithuania which controls the entire education system, and that's called SKVC. It's an office which is taking care of the accreditation of your previous qualification. You need to understand that students, when they reach Lithuania, they need to go to SKVC office and get a letter of verification saying that the student's education is valid and they can study in India, in Lithuania. Now, 98% of our partner universities, or should I say 95 actually, 95% of the partner universities, they want students to come, take the admission, make the visa application, get the visa, come down to Lithuania, and then they go to SKVC office. University go to SKVC office together with the student. But some university says that, no problem, we can issue the admission letter, but please send your documents to the SKVC office now from India itself, so that I know that you have initiated this process, which take 2 months time. Then we have a third type of university which says, do not come to me for the admission. until and unless you have got the SKVC. Now I'm talking about only one person, maybe one university we have like that at the moment, which is MRU University. We are still in discussion with them that if we can convince their higher management. But at the moment, 95% of the university, VGTU, Clipedia, ISM, University of Latvia, and other all partner universities that don't need the SKVC from India, the verification from India. They will get it done. So in average, we're talking about 5 days to 15 days for the admission letter. And then you have to transfer tuition fee for the whole year before the visa application to the university directly. Indo-European is not authorized to keep the tuition fee in the account, so we cannot do anything in that particular case. There is no visa fee payment. There is some visa fee charges like insurance and all, but there is no visa fee payment. Attend the visa, and the student has to attend the visa interview. After the tuition fee, universities send some documents, and those documents has to come from university originally. The admission letter, which come with the receipt of the payment, originally has to be used in the embassy. Therefore, we have to wait. Therefore, the tuition fee should be transferred under the deadline. If students don't transfer tuition in the deadline, they get the admission letter receipt later, and they will miss their embassy appointment because embassy work with the visa work with the appointment system. And getting an appointment in June will be a really tough, And then say comes to Lithuania. A visa requirement. Show money in the visa is 5 to 6 lakh rupees in students and parents account. 1 day old fund is acceptable, no problem. Sponsorship letter is mandatory for the parents and guardians if you are actually taking the money from parents and showing the money from the parents account. Working hours of the visa section for the submission and collection documents is already mentioned here. That can change any time. If it changes, we inform you. So in the visa requirement, you can say it's a very simple document. You have a prescribed application form, you have a recent photos, valid passport, you have a health insurance. The health insurance has to be from a specific company. We have certain companies on portfolio which we have got approved from which are approved from the Lithuanian embassy, and the insurance costs 8,000 rupees. Student can get this insurance directly as well if they want. If you want to take our services, we can of course help you. A return ticket for reservation, only reservation 1 week before the course starts. Do not buy the tickets, please. We have got a lot of students who come buy the tickets and come to us. Means of substance in Republic of Lithuania, anyone of the below. So 5 lakh rupees INR bank account with valid source of income. Parents can sponsor to show their supporting documents as affidavit for sponsorship, blank statement for 3 months, bank certificate, ITR. They are additional documents. So if you have an ITR, this can be used. In case the student doesn't have an ITR, it can be waived off. It's just the supporting document. Education loan. If you have education loan, the education loan letter has to be available, and it also work. I'm going to make a pause for a minute so that you can read this page and take your notes, because I'm going to be switching off this slides, and I'm going to be jumping to your FAQs. So you have a minute to make out the things written on this screen, and then we can ask me the questions regarding this. Of course, we're going to share this presentation with you just after this conversation. Main reason to study in Lithuania, in the end, I will say, is value, quality, and experience. So the same thing which we can talk about, study in Europe at Indian cost. The education is not expensive. So if you talk about Baltic countries, I'll always close up with this, that you have a lot of opportunities. You have a lot of options available in the universities, a dual degree program and exchange programs, and you are paying the tuition fee of Mumbai and New Delhi. A good MBA program in Bangalore costs us again the 7 lakh rupees, whereas the tuition fee for a good MBA in Lithuania will be approximately same. There are few top universities we'll be sharing with you. They will have the MBA starting from in total 7 to 8,000 euros for the 2-year MBAs. ISM is one of the top universities which have a dual degree with Norway and US. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm now going to start the FAQ session where you can start writing the questions, and I will start answering all your questions one by one. Okay, we're going to jump back and we see we have some questions already in the past. We need the return ticket because that's a law in Lithuania, because when you get the visa for Lithuania from here, you will have a 1-year visa. Now it's a D-type visa which will be issued to students, and as per the law, when they issue the visa, it's not a resident, you need to have a return ticket as well. It is an itinerary, it is not to be a ticket, it's an itinerary only. Dual degrees are basically a degree when you opt for one university and you have 2 degrees coming from 2 different universities. Now every dual degree has a different terms and condition that goes between the 2 partnerships. Example, if you study in ISM University in Lithuania, they have a dual degree with the Norway BI School of Norway. To read more about the degree, I suggest that you should go to ISM University website and look for degree. But then when the student finish the program, they will have 1 degree from Lithuanian ISM and another from Norway or France or US, wherever they want to have from. During the dual degree process, students either are supposed to go to the local country, the second university, and sometimes they don't have to. Again, as I say, depends upon the deal. There is no such formula to calculate dual degrees. Every dual degree has to be evaluated as per the information mentioned on the university website. So my strong suggestion is please visit the university websites. Student will pay the tuition fee. I have a question from Mr. GEC. We do have to pay tuition fee in university in advance before the visa, once the admission is secured. Any more questions? Okay, for part-time jobs, student can earn approximately 300 to 350 euros a month, and that should be enough for his living expenses. Jobs, we are talking about students who go to Europe, they do all odd jobs. We're talking about blue-collar jobs in restaurants, in bars, in courier companies, in logistic companies, factories. But then, of course, if they don't know the language, that's all they can get. But they can make from 300 to 400 euros a month minimum in the part-time job. I just had a discussion with the legal authorities, and they are planning to even, at the moment, master and PhD students can start working from the first day. Bachelor students cannot work from the first day at the moment, but they is a change in law coming up in a month's time. So by the time student 2000 September in 15 intake, the bachelor students of Lithuania can also work from the very first day. At the moment, the law says that they have to work only from second year at the bachelor's, but masters can work from the very first day. Yes, the bank statements are required in the visa file. As we said, the bank statement has to be student's bank statement or it has to be student parent bank statement. If it's a student parent's bank statement, then they have to give a sponsorship letter as well and as a supporting document. The criteria is depending upon the deal to deal. So if you want to go for a partner university in dual degree, I suggest you should just first check out the dual degree options on the particular university. If you're talking about ISM, they of course want you to pass your exams in your, you do half of your education here. I'll give you a small example. We have a dual degree program in mechatronics with Vilnius Technical University and Braunschweig University, Germany. Now, because Braunschweig University, Germany is a research university with a lot of high standards, they took Lithuanian students from Lithuania, though Indian students who were studying mechatronics program, opt for the dual degree. All of them had to pass 5 interviews to get into that program, and 50% of the students got admission. But different dual degrees are run in a different way, but every dual degree has their own criteria. I suggest go and read on the website and you will see most of the universities explain very much in detail about the dual degrees. The amount required in bank statement is approximately 5 lakh Indian rupees that they have to show. We have, in case visa refused, will university refund the tuition fees already paid? Yes, of course. In case of the visa refusal, university will refund full tuition fee minus the bank charges, which will be approximately 50 to 80 euros for each university. Application fees of the university, which you must have paid in advance by the time of the admission, will be not refundable. When the students, just to share my personal experience, when the students finish their education in Lithuania, they have an ample opportunity to find a work in Norway, Germany, Finland, because the visa is Schengen. So technically, if you take every European university or even Lithuanian university, the student has 1 semester mandatory thesis. Also in the bachelor's, also in the master's. So when students finish their 3rd semester of the master degree program, the 4th semester they don't go to university at all because the thesis or a project, which means that student can start writing their proposals or the job request letters to the companies in Europe. So 6 months is enough time period, and then they have 6 months of job seeker. So technically speaking, there you have 1 year of the time period where you can find the jobs. And traveling from Lithuania to other European country is very quick. If you see the Berlin from Lithuania, Vilnius, it takes approximately 12 hours to go by bus to Germany, Berlin. If you want to know more about the traveling point, I can recommend you one website. It was luxbusservices.eu. So you can find on this website that students can actually, I'll just find the, I think it's Lux Bus Services. You can write this word on the Google, and I don't remember the website right now. And you can say Lux Bus Services, and you'll find the, in EU, you will find this link over there, and you can actually try to book a ticket online, and you'll see how much time it takes from Lithuania to all European cities. IELTS is not required with student-based interview. Universities don't require IELTS, But one thing is very clear. I want to tell now. It's a good question actually. University don't require IELTS, but as a preferred partner of the Lithuanian Embassy in New Delhi, we screen our students. So if your student don't speak English, if they don't have confidence to take the interview, I strongly suggest you, please do not make the application. We have in our internal system, we will be checking the students before they go to the embassy, and we will not allow any students to go for the embassy interview if they don't speak English. We will be doing an interview with the student also on Skype with you, just to show that if we are not sure about the student English. Yes, with 45%, student will definitely get an admission in Lithuanian university. But when it comes to the visa, visa has nothing to do with the percentage. Visa has to do more about motivation. It has to do more about the English, how they speak, what they talk in the interview, and how they respond to the question of the visa officer. The visa officer in the European embassies have a very standard question. And those questions are basically based on your language, your past experience, and what do you want to do, so your motivation. It's unlikely not like Canada and New Zealand where they see these things. I do understand in countries like Canada, they make sure that if student has 45% marks, they don't get the visa. Now in Europe, it doesn't work that way. I believe we have no more questions. We have all the universities. We were going to send you a list of universities now. We are sending it to you today. All the list of universities we work with, including the course register. So you will have a complete information in an Excel sheet that what are the courses offered by Lithuanian universities and what is the tuition fee and when this starts. All the universities in Lithuania are government or government approved. There is no possibility to open a dodgy college. I have heard that there are a couple of people have given the admission letters to some of the students where the college don't exist. Please be aware that if the university are mentioned in study in Lithuania.lt, then the university is accredited. I repeat the website, study in Lithuania.lt. If you can find the university there, it's an accredited university. If you can't find the university, then it's a non-accredited university. I strongly suggest you not to apply the visa in any of these non-recognized university, because there are a lot of private companies which try to pretend as the university or the college. In fact, Lithuania also have a college system. So they also have some valid colleges which are mentioned on Study in Lithuania, but colleges in Lithuania are known as University of Applied Sciences. So you have University of Applied Sciences and University of Research. Yes, we will provide you the name of the universities today in the evening, all the university and courses we are working with. Thank you, Pranesh. The engineering, as I mentioned, that 45% marks is the basic level of entry point. It doesn't mean that entire Lithuania are going to be working on 45%. On certain programs, specifically on mechatronics program, dual degree with Germany, the entry requirement is 60% marks. On other programs, the Vigilance Tech University is 45. So if you have a 45% students who want to study in Lithuania, they can actually study, they can go for the education. But some universities have on certain program a higher demand on percentage. And don't forget, the education system require a 15 years of education and not 15 years of education. Which means that a 3-year bachelor degree is not recognized in Lithuania. You should have a 4 years in total higher education, 3 plus 1, or in total 4. And no correspondence education is accepted in Lithuania. Many MBAs don't require work experience, but some of the MBAs do require the work experience. depending upon the university, and that's where we are sending you the course register in Excel sheet. We have now been sharing, we'll be sharing a complete course register of European universities with you every day. We will be putting all the courses of European universities in one Excel sheet for you, where you can find our charges, commission, tuition fees, everything in one sheet. Student with a fresh BCom can apply for an MBA, but not in Lithuania. They can apply. You can only apply in Lithuania with a 3-year program when you go for a pre-masters. And the question is whether the university have a pre-master or not. In Lithuania, most of the universities do not have pre-masters. Therefore, I suggest you should go for Latvia Turiba University MBA offer. I'm sure you must be having those offer from us. We have been sending this on emails. All the Lithuanian universities, we have a question about accommodation in Lithuania. All the Lithuanian universities do have their own hostels, student hostels. If they don't have student hostels, they of course help the students to find the accommodation. But I will say 99% of the Lithuanian universities have student hostel in Lithuania. And the average price I've already mentioned in the PPT, it was 6,000 to 8,000 rupees, including all the bills, water, heating, electricity. Students can take their spouses after first year, because when we get the visa from Lithuania as a student visa, the visa is for 1 year from the India. It's a D-type visa, which means that student can go there and they should apply the resident permit. So in the first 6 months, when you complete your 6 months of education, you need to apply the resident permit. By 9th month, you will have your resident permit, and then you can apply for your spouse. So more or less, you can say you can apply for your spouse after 10 to 12 months from the day of your landing in Lithuania. And it includes the dependent also, including spouse. The cost of food in general, if the student cook their own food, we're talking about approximately 100 and 150 euro a month. And plus accommodation 100, 250. Their bus is 5 euro. Mobile, say a 10. I'm talking about again 300 euros in total for their living cost. Working of spouse is a kind of a topic I would need to hold it, because there's a certain law change happening up. And as I mentioned that the students can work, the bachelor student also can work. They will allowed to work in coming weeks. But for spouse, the information is quite crucial. So I will hold this up, and we will, Mr. Azam, I'll make sure that we come back to you next week, because there was certain change in the policy happening up. In fact, this bachelor thing got to be updated today itself. So for spouse, we will come back to you on the next week. They can travel, they can live, but working part is a question mark. Yes, of course, when you take your spouse, you take your kids, they can study there as well, but you need to understand that if the kids go and they live in Lithuania, they have to study in international school. And otherwise, if the kids are very small, then of course you can study from the kindergarten and they can start learning Lithuanian language, no problem. But if your kid is approximately 10 years old, then the applicant has to take the kid to the international school, and international schools are same expensive as they are in India. I will say approximately 1,000 euros a month minimum on the international schools. Spouse can travel from 9th month, because the student has to have a resident permit before they can apply the application of the spouse. So therefore, the resident permit takes approximately 9 months to get. So once they get the resident permit, they can apply for the visa for the spouse and the dependent. So I will say from 9th to 12th month, they will be able to join them. About the resident permit, if you travel to Lithuania, Lithuania issue a visa for 1 year. Lithuania is issuing the visa not for 3 months or month. They issue the visa for 1 year straight away. It's a D-type visa, which allow you to travel to Lithuania and Schengen countries, and you can work as well for master students. For bachelor students, once it's allowed, it's a simple visa. But after first year, after 6 months, 180 days, student need to apply for a resident permit, which is a pink color visa. You all can go. You just have to type on Google resident permit Germany, resident permit Lithuania or Latvia, and you will see in the images it's look like same pink color with a photo and a chip. This has been in normal European countries. This normally is given to the student in the first 3 months, whereas in Lithuania it is given between 6 months and the 9 months. But you have a year visa valid, and then you have to keep renewing your visa. So resident permit is nothing special. It's again called as student visa. That's all. No, you don't apply resident permit together. You have to apply for the visa first in Lithuanian embassy in New Delhi, and then once the visa has been approved, you will get a visa within 15 days. You go to Lithuania and you start your education, and by the end of 6 months, a university will ask you to go to the immigration office and start the processing of the Lithuanian resident permit. And when you get the permit, which can take 2 to 4 months, you can start working for the bachelor student at the moment, or you can get a spouse also. There is no course in English where they can learn English language, and even if there is one available, it is a negative marking for the student from India, Pakistan, and Nepal, because they know that India we all speak good English anyways, so they don't give the visa for English language. Is Lithuania a good option for guys that are looking for blue card PR? Of course, yes. That is one of the most important reasons, because when we say Austria or Germany or France, there's a lot of money involved into it. So when students go to Lithuania and they finish their master's degree, which is valid in European Union, you can apply for a green card, or you can apply for a PR or a blue card from Lithuania. And just for your information, governments and the legal bodies prefer students coming from European countries rather than Asia. That's one thing. Second thing, you can have a very easy access to labor market, because to have a job in European Union, they want to see the employees, and they want that employees should have a resident permit, and students always have a resident permit. So you can go for the interviews. You don't have to request someone to sponsor your visa for the job, because you are already in European Union. So if you are an engineer, if you're a business student, if you're a medicine student, you have a very, very high possibility to get absorbed in European Union itself. You can actually open a company as well in Lithuania, and you can convert your visa into an entrepreneur visa. That is also another option you have. But I will not be able to give you more information on this, but this is how it can be done. How they can expand more when they go there. It's very easy actually. Spouse can definitely apply for visitor visa. They can go on a visitor visa as well. Yeah. Whereas spouse visitor visa is a very easy option. It's a 15 days visa process, and student can actually apply from here in the local embassy. It's hardly any requirement. They just have to show their living expenses and the food and traveling, and that's it. If once you finish the education, the job options are not only in Lithuania, the job options are for Europe. I always try to explain this point in all my presentations to my audience, that when you go to European Union, you don't talk about study in Lithuania and work in Lithuania. You talk about study in Latvia, Lithuania, Czech Republic, and then working in what? Poland, Greece, Ireland, Germany, Denmark. Not sorry, Ireland. Ireland, of course, you have to have a visa. It's non-Schengen country. But all other 26 members, you can have a very easy access to job market. I have lived in Europe for many years. And I've been seeing lot of students, who we have sent, and they got the job, they got a PhD. Of course, PhD, if you want to do a funded PhD, a free PhD, which everybody wants to go, and I'm pretty sure everybody here in this room have got lots of PhD leads coming up. Students who want to do a PhD in European Union, funded, they should actually go for a master in Europe first. It's very easy to get a funded PhD if your education is from European Union. How much gap is accepted? Gap is absolutely no problem, but of course if you get a student for 28 years old who doesn't have anything and want to go for bachelor program, it is a negative application. Maximum age for bachelor students should be 25 at the most in these countries. Otherwise, we call it as visa risk student, and they are more like into immigration rather than studies. For the admission, the gap is no problem. If you have, for the master students, we can go up till 40. Some university will put a tab on 37, 38, but most of the university will not have any problem with the 40-year student going for a master's. For a bachelor's, we are talking about 25 at the max. Unless the person is maybe 26, but that's it, nothing more than that. With the strong reasons, of course. I have already mentioned this. I believe the audiences came late, but there is no English requirement. You don't have to have an IELTS, but the student should speak good English. I believe we have. Okay. No problem, no problem. 10% is not required. In case you want to study bachelor degree in Lithuania after 10th, plus if you have a 3-year polytechnic diploma, you can study in a bachelor degree, or in any case, you need to have minimum 45% mark. 45% marks in the last previous education from India. For the bachelor's, 12th pass or polytechnic diploma after 10th, both are accepted. Thank you so much. I think we should bring this to an end now. I hope you have cleared all your questions. Thank you so much for listening to me. We will be doing more presentations. We are sending you this complete schedule for next few presentations today. And if you can, but we have a limited space in the coming seminars because the software don't allow us to add a lot of people. So you need to register on the seminar at the earliest possible. And looking forward to your questions. If you have some more questions for Lithuania,